Man loses his way. We must look to nature to get back to a holistic path. For 400 years, we have been taught a diet that is not only contradictory to nature, but to our bodies as well. Man has been so far removed from his natural habitat that we have forgotten the natural way of healing ourselves. God in the beginning gave us herbs for the healing of the nations. We must understand and overstand that once we understand to keep our bodies in a natural and rhythmic homeostasis state, that we have then found the keys to rid our bodies of disease. Cleanse the mind, and the body will follow. Peace, love, and light. Man loses his way. We must look to nature to get back to a holistic path. For 400 years, we have been taught a diet that is not only contradictory to nature, but to our bodies as well. Man has been so far removed from his natural habitat that we have forgotten the natural way of healing ourselves. God in the beginning gave us herbs for the healing of the nations. We must understand and overstand that once we understand to keep our bodies in a natural and rhythmic homeostasis state, that we have then found the keys to rid our bodies of disease. Cleanse the mind, and the body will follow. Peace, love, and light. All right. Shalom, family. Shalom. Peace, love, light, and prosperity to the family. Peace, love, and light to my family on Instagram. Peace, love, and light to my family on Facebook and YouTube. I want to give a thank you and many blessings to all you all for tuning in on this special moment in me and my family's life, as we have now released our first edition book. All praises. So just want to just really come on here to thank you all for those who did support, those who have purchased the book, those who have just been following the journey, beyond my words, just been following the transition, been following the ups and downs, the trials, the tribulations, have been following just the trail towards a healthy lifestyle, not just physically, but also mentally and also spiritually. It takes a great deal to really take on this lifestyle, to really take on really denying yourself of all the things that you've been told was healthy for you, that you've been told was good for you, that you've been told that it will make you stronger. Just the ideology of the Eurocentric thought that we all have been victim to really tear yourself away from that after 20 plus years, 30 years. It can be very, very difficult and very, very challenging. But the reward of that is very, very beneficial, especially to our community, because you realize that you have not been in your literal right mind. You have not been in your literal right body. And you have, hold on real quick. I just been in your, we realize that we have not lived up to our full potential because the environment that we have been forcefully put in. And so it's very important, because the book was not just about me. This book was about showing you all that it is possible to heal, showing you all that it is possible to go beyond the limited borders that have been put on us, showing you that it's possible that you can live up further the heavens. We are people who are gods on this earth. So you have to think in a godly manner to function. And so this is why I wanted to bring forth this information. And it's crazy. Just a little bit about myself. About 6 years ago, I started as a personal trainer who just really wanted to help people in a physical manner. Just wanted to see really obtain that optimum health, and just started working out, helping train people, getting in the workouts. Then eventually started creating nutritional diet plans. I am or was a certified personal trainer, and I also was a certified nutritionist. And so just through my journey of constantly elevating, constantly reaffirming, constantly changing and evolving, I realized that it was more so the diet than the actual workouts. And so I found myself starting to focus more on nutrition, started to focus more on even telling my clients that, look, we can work out all day, but if you're not eating correctly, then it won't work. And I found that through my own trial and error and successes that was the case. And so it made me tap in looking more into. I came into the knowledge of was as a person or as a people. I started to shy away from the pork. I started to shy away from the shrimp. I started to shy away from crab legs and start pig feet. I never really ate pig feet, but I'm just kind of identifying with y'all the chitlins and all that stuff. I started really just shed away that old man. This is before who I knew I was. So I was starting to be in tune with myself on what was really good for my body. And then I later on joined a nutritional company, which I'm not gonna put their name out there, where I found some success in that, but through time I started to feel even my body start to transition to something I didn't want, from how I was using the restroom, how I would wake up a certain way. And so through time of trial and error, what really started to awaken me to true holistic. The documentary What the Health, and if you watch that, that's a hit. It is the whole door on exposing hollow exposing companies, exposing that these people are literally trying to Can y'all see me? My bad, y'all. I disconnected from the Wi-Fi. But back to what I was saying was 2017 was really my awakening of what real health was. And I'm not here to knock nobody about what they eat, to knock nobody about how they eat. But one thing is gonna always remain: fact is fact, and what you sow is what you reap. You see what I'm saying? So one thing I asked myself: if this is so good for me, why do I get sick? If this is so good for me, why do I continue to have allergies? If these things are so good for me, why do I continue to have the same symptoms as if I was 20 pounds heavier? Then I started to put the pieces together. So again, going back to What the Health, they really opened my eyes, and it just really started to open me up to different methods of how to stay healthy, which, like we all, or some of us, went through. The first person we found and started researching was who? Dr. Sebi. So I started studying Dr. Sebi. I then came across Dr. Layla Africa. I then came across Patrick Dales. You see what I'm saying? I then came across the big Yaki, and I started to really dive in and really just test the waters on what health was. You see what I'm saying? I started to really dive in and just test myself, and I started to test my family on different herbs, you see, and different methods of healing. And what really drove me to start doing it, and this is how it usually happens, and this is why I do this, because I don't want this to happen with everybody. Most people know about 2018, I actually took my first trip to Africa. I took my first trip to Africa. And so, and believe it or not, that was actually a long and depressing year within itself. But when I came back, that was actually the heaviest I had been since probably since college, after I had my first son. So I came back and I had malaria. I caught malaria. And so if you know anything about malaria, malaria is a nasty parasite. I mean, disgusting parasite. And when you actually realize a lot of these diseases, these diseases, is all the same type of thing. Dealing with a parasite, dealing with your cells breaking down, dealing with your body just not functioning because you're not feeding and fueling it with the right oils. You get what I'm saying? So so I caught malaria. And America does not know what to do with the malaria. They don't know how to heal nor treat malaria. So I found myself. I hit what I hit. What was my temperature?
107.
Yeah, I hit 107 degrees.
107.3.
107.3. You see, with a fever, and at first I wasn't trying to go, but then it just something didn't feel right. You know, something didn't feel right. So I went to the hospital. They said I had malaria. They wasn't even trying to take me, for real. They wasn't trying to take me. They would pretty much told me to go home and take some type of medicine from CVS. But you know, my wife, she was looking out for me. She pretty much told me, hey, look, we're gonna have to go to the hospital. So we went back. I was in the hospital, just to make a long story short on that. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. I end up catching pneumonia with malaria, and I'm talking about as the Father's my witness, these people have pretty much led me to die. They didn't know what to do with it. They wasn't really trying to fix it. My wife and her mother was really pushing for them to do something about it. I mean, it was crazy, and they had found that 80% of my blood was full of parasites, and so I was literally about to die. They had told me, you know, once you pass 70% or 75% with your blood full of parasites, it's pretty much a wrap. I mean, and the crazy thing is, the doctor I asked the doctor, I was on a breathing ventilator and everything. I had asked the doctor, I said, yo, what can we do about this? This man literally told me, son, the best thing you can do is pray. I said, you know what? You're right about that. We got the praying, brothers got the fasting. A sister had brung in herbs. It was like really my first time being sick while having to take herbs. And when I started to take it, I started to feel a difference. I give all glory to the Father, because truth be told, if it wasn't for him, I'd probably been dead, straight up. You know, I was probably been dead, just be honest with you. So it was the Father's healing, you know. And the crazy thing, I was actually fasting. I didn't eat nothing in the hospital for 7 days. Nothing. I wasn't taking no water. I wasn't taking no Jello, no popsicle, no nothing. I wasn't eating nothing from these people because I didn't trust them. So I was typically fasting for 7 days, and then I started to take herbs, and that's when I started to I really started to get the healing going. And so when I came out of there, you know, that's when I really started to appreciate life and really started to take value in my life, because I realized that a lot of people say they ready to die until they in that moment. And just being honest, I was in that moment, you know, about to die, and I realized, dang, I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do. I can't die now. And so I started to value my life in that moment of death, really. And for me, that was a spiritual death and a psychological death, because I've never been the same since I came out of that. And so I really started to take my life serious. And I really started to test the waters on this health thing, and I started testing my family. I started you know, playing with sea moss, playing with rosemary, sweet wormwood, and I started to see the elimination. I mean, even coming out the hospital, I had some so-called symptoms coming out, where literally 2 months later, I had low strength in my leg, where I almost fell down the stairs. I was very drowsy. I was very sleepy. There's a lot going on. So I realized that this thing is not just about, just keeping the commandments, et cetera, et cetera. This thing is it's a whole universal thing. This is a holistic thing. To keep the commandments, you got to keep it in your inward parts. Everything is aligned with that, man. I strongly believe that. So I started to do that and apply, and I started to fast more. I started to eat more. I started to put the meat away a little slowly but surely, because back in 2017, that was my first time actually going vegan. That was my first time going, or I would say plant-based. That was my first time, and I went cold turkey for 3 months. I went cold turkey for 3 months. Went out with the brothers after camp one day, and having a good time. You know how brothers get. You start to drink wine, and sometimes some of your morals go out the door. So I seen some fries and some piece of chicken at the moment. I said, man, forget this. So at that moment, I ended up relapsing, and it was really hard for me to get back on track. Reason I'm sharing this with y'all because it has everything to do with the book. So bear with me. And so I started to relapse. You know what I'm saying? Go back and forth. I had some days where, we would go literally like a month or two pescatarian, month or two vegetarian, month or two forget it, a month or two, okay, we gonna be vegan. It was just a lot of inconsistencies. And so I found myself, even in the midst of that, losing myself, because one thing that started me in my health journey was discipline. You know what I'm saying? I found myself losing that discipline. So about 2019, I said, you know what? I've been doing a lot for other people. It's time for me to start doing for myself. So I dedicated 30 days of hard studying on how to cleanse the body, how to cleanse the body, how to detox my body. What element do I need to be in? What environment do I need to be in? And for 30 days, I prepped myself to do it. So I went on a 30-day fruit cleanse. 30-day fruit cleanse. This is about almost 2 years ago. 30-day fruit cleanse. And it was one of the hardest tests of my life, because with fruit, because it's so much an astringent fruit, it pulls and tugs at the toxins. You get to finally see what you've been burying within. You get to finally see the sickness that's been there the whole time that you've been suppressing. You get to finally see that you actually have a lot more issues than you thought you did. And so those were some of the things I was going through, and I realized this is actually more of a mental and spiritual battle than physical, because for the first 2 weeks I was fine. But when you start paying attention to your environment and the people around you, you realize that everything has to do with people around you. Everything has to do with your environment. Everything has to do with what you think. Everything has to do with what you listen to, what you watch, what you read. Everything has to do with your health. Believe it or not, everything has to do with it. And I'm speaking from straight up experience. I'm not talking about no book. I'm not talking about what I've read on Google. I'm talking about straight up experience in different situations of my life, that everybody around you will definitely set the tone on your health, your mental, your spiritual, and your physical health. And I realized that. And I had to start separating myself. I had to start being to myself more, with the Father more than around other people. And that's what I realized within that cleanse, that this thing was bigger than food. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than food. It's very much bigger than food. Food is really actually the end result. It's the marker on telling you what's going on within. Everything that you do, what you listen to defines what you think. Who you're around defines how you move. What you eat defines how you feel about yourself. Everything was aligned with what was going on within me, and within people, period. And this is coming from experience. This is coming from dealing with different clients. This is just coming from hard experience and facts, that what you do, what you eat, what you listen to has a great, great toll on how your life is reflected. And I realized that. And so going to the point, this book was actually supposed to be how to transition to a holistic lifestyle, mainly just dealing with the diet. But as I started to progress through this book, and I actually planned on doing a book 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I remember I was in college. I told my homegirl, yo, I mean, I think I want to write a book. I think I really want to write a book and help people. She like, go ahead. I believe in you. And so I never really knew how to start, because how I wanted to do it was I really wanted to start a book where I'm talking about my life, but in third person, and try to, give people my experience on how to get through certain situations. But as you know, our plan may not be the most highest plan. And so things obviously changed over time. And even when I eventually ended up starting back in 2015, and it just never really played out how I thought. So here we are back in 2020. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start really getting to this book. I'm gonna stop procrastinating. I'm gonna stop putting it off. I'm gonna stop just being a hypocrite about it and do it. And so what really inspired me was a brother had came up to me and he said, I was asking about his book and how he got his book started. Definitely want to say shout out to my brother Azad over there in Ghana right now. His Instagram is Wise Locks, YouTube Zaylock23. Make sure y'all definitely check him out. Definitely a great brother to build with. But I was talking to him about his books because he had about 2 books out right now. And I asked him, what his process was. And he was just telling me, just when you have the idea or when you have the thought, just start typing it. He said, that's what I did. He said, just start typing it. When you got the idea, he said, think about this. He said, think about this. When you pass away or when you leave this earth, what will you have left behind besides your children? What will be your personal marker in this earth? And that really resonated with me because, that is a good question. When you die or when you leave, besides your children, what else will you have as a reference point of you were here? You see what I'm saying? And that really resonated with me. So from that point, I started to really getting in. I started to really dive into getting this book in. So believe it or not, the book about 70 pages long. Within one night, I was just in the spirit. In one night, I wrote 25 pages. I was up to like 5 in the morning going in. Now, y'all know it's late, so I had a couple errors I had to fix. So shout out to my editor, Rachel. I think she on here too. She definitely looked out for me and helped me through the whole process of publishing. So shout out to her. But started with 25 pages. Took a break, took too long of a break because this book was actually supposed to be done in April. But, procrastination and a lot of other things going on. Y'all know I'll be busy. So it took me a little minute. So got back to it about May and just stayed consistent with it. Stay consistent. So again, it started out as, if y'all remember the cover, it started out as how to transition to a plant-based diet. But through my transition of writing this book, I realized that to transition to a whole new lifestyle is not just about the food. You got to have the right mindset. You got to have the right spiritual practice going on. You got to have the right goals on why you're doing this. Because there's people out here who are vegan, who are still sick. You feel me? There's people out here who are still vegan, still plant-based, who are still sick, which tells me this is about a mindset and it's about where you are spiritually. Where you are spiritually. I just firmly believe you got to have all 3 intact. You can't have one without the other. You can't have 2 out of 3. All 3 must be intact. And so when I seen that, I realized that this book, it's not about food. I had to transition understanding that you got to have your mind right. And most of all, you got to have your spirit right. Because if your spirit ain't right, your mind won't be right. If your mind ain't right, then your body most definitely going to be a reflection of it ain't right. And I've realized this, I'm going off straight experience. And so that's why we changed the name to the holistic transition where man re-meets health, because I wanted you to understand that it's bigger than the food. The food, believe it or not, is the last thing. The food is the last thing. It's the last thing. You got to have your spirit and you got to have your mind correct. And then the food is just nothing but a reflection of that, of your spirituality and of your psyche, straight up. And so that's what this book is about, is I want y'all to see from my point of view, from my experience, for my research of what it really is to transition to a holistic lifestyle where everything you do is lively. Everything you do is upful. Everything you do is about peace, love, light, and prosperity. Everything. And that's what I wanted to share with y'all, and I wanted y'all to experience it with me. And it's plenty of other things we got in the works. Plenty of other things. So with that being said, I actually want to read a piece for y'all. So if you're on Instagram, I'm gonna turn this over real quick. All right, so look, we about to do this. Let me see if I share my screen. Boom. All right. I'm gonna read just a little piece of it for y'all, man. Read a little piece for y'all. Let's see. Matter of fact, I'll just do this just so y'all can kind of see. So this is the cover of it, right? It's the cover of it. I'll even do this. Boom. Let's go with the whole thing. That's the cover of it. Just so y'all can get a little taste of it. Let me just do this. So the first chapter pretty much is about my story. I think it's very imperative for anybody when you're reading something to understand the person and where it's coming from. So I wanted to tell y'all my story. I wanted to tell y'all where I was coming from and what I went through. The next chapter is dealing with the circadian rhythm. And how you will find out that our bodies is totally aligned with nature. Contrary to popular religious belief, our bodies are in perfect harmony when we are in sync with nature. As the sun rises, so shall we rise, and as the sun sets, so shall our bodies set. So that's a simple but deep chapter, believe it or not. Next thing was prepping you on how to transition. So for the sake of the people, I did put in here a game plan, a health plan on how to transition. And now for my vegans, for my plant-based, I'm gonna ask y'all if y'all can spare me. So I know some of y'all suggested meat. Why is this brother suggested meat? No, it's not that I'm suggesting meat. It's that I understand that everybody just can't go cold turkey. Is that I understand that everybody just can't hop on the wagon like that and just give it all up. So I wanted to come from a realistic standpoint. I wanted to come from a real standpoint that, hey, most people, this is going to take a slow transition. Most people is going to take time. So I've created a meal plan for that type of person, the common person, where they won't just jump out on the ship like that because this is something new and introduced to them. I wanted to show them that we can take baby steps, right? You don't give meat to a baby. You got to give them milk. So I wanted to give the milk to the babes who really wanted to transition first and help them literally walk with them and hold their hand while transitioning into this lifestyle. You see that? So for my plant-based gurus, relax. This is not about y'all. Y'all good. Christ said himself, he didn't come for the righteous, but the unrighteous. This is not for those who have already transitioned. This book is for those who are trying to transition. You feel me? So bear with me, family. Bear with me. So I also have suggested herbs on here, right? Suggested herbs. Let's see. You also got suggested fruits. I give you the benefits of each fruit. Got the grapes in here. See that? Sour sop. Ooh, wait. And y'all know I'm in Africa. So I've been smashing on some sour sop. Papayas. I got suggested vegetables too. You see? I'm trying to make it as easy and transitional as possible so you don't feel like you just got to go cold turkey. We got to realize everybody got a different walk. Everybody got a different talk. So with that being said, I wanted to read this for y'all. out of the book. Now this chapter, this is called your external reflection is your internal expression. I firmly believe through experience and study that everything we do on the outside is a reflection on the inside. Repeating myself again, what you listen to is a reflection of your thoughts. What you eat is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. Who you surround yourself tells a lot about your future and your present. You see what I'm saying? And when you realize this, you got to ask yourself, are you different than last year? Are you different than 2 years ago? And do you find yourself, if you're not different, around the same type of people, doing the same type of routine, listen to the same type of music? These are real things, y'all. Real things. So you got to make sure that your surroundings, you got to make sure who you're around is building you up. If you're not building me up, I can't be around you, because that means that we're not sharpening each other's iron. You don't have my back when I'm weak, and therefore I can't really have your back fully because you have nothing to even offer to me. That's what iron and sharpen iron is, balancing each other out, what people call yin and yang. That's what that is. You got to be about balance. And imbalance is truly an abomination. It's a false balance. That means it will eventually fall. And any house is not just one piece that holds the whole house up. It's many pieces, many parts to the body, many parts to that house. And that's the same thing when it comes to friendships. That's the same thing when it comes to relationships. That's the same thing when it comes to marriages. That's the same thing when it comes to your children. It must be balanced. Even in the scriptures, it say what? That children are the base of their parents. That means every piece in the house, from the greatest vessel to the weakest vessel, matters. Because the weakest vessel is nothing but a reflection of the greatest vessel. So everything matters. You are a reflection of your friends. You're a reflection of everybody. You're a reflection of your people. So we got to understand, and understand that everything around us matters and is a reflection of how we feel about ourselves and the one who is greater than us. You see what I'm saying? So let's get a read. So it reads this. This chapter will focus on truly understanding holistic health on all levels of mind, body, and spirit. It's fortunate, but there are many within the community who do not realize health is bigger than just what you eat. Honestly, what you eat is just a reflection of the level of love one has for his or herself internally. Always remember, what goes in must come out, and as within, so without. What we will find is that most people don't eat for health reasons, but more so for emotional and comfort reasons. Now tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. When somebody gets sad, what's the first thing you want to do? Netflix and chill. Want to eat cookies and ice cream. Huh? When somebody wants to have a good time on the weekend, what do they use to have a good time? Smoking weed and drinking liquor. You see what I'm saying? When somebody wants to celebrate because they got a promotion at their job, what's the first thing they want to do? They want to eat. So we see that emotions is evolved or revolved around food. Food is always going to be in the middle of anything, whether that be sadness, whether that be happiness, whether that be success, whether that be failures. Because when you fail, most people want to eat donuts. You see what I'm saying? You want to eat donuts. You want to eat a whole pizza. Huh? You see, everything is revolved around food. Everything. So always remember, what goes in must come out, and as within, so without. What we will find is that most people eat for health reasons, but more so for emotional and comfort reasons, due to the lack of love and other eternal areas in their lives, which is why every sickness known to man has plagued our communities due to the lack of true peace. Look at that. Love or joy, love and harmony. It should be first expressed inwardly, then expressed outwardly. The way to truly make the change that is necessary is by first doing the work on the inside to get to the root cause of why we as a people eat this way in the first place. You got to ask yourself, who gave you that diet? Who told you that candy, ice cream, and Twinkies were healthy and a fun snack for you and your children? Who gave you the idea that eating this way would give you long life? One thing for sure and two things for certain is we only get one life, and that life can be taken by bad habits, decisions, foods, and environments within a blink of an eye. And this is why the narrative must change. You see that? The average age for a black man in America is 50 to 60 years with dying, not from natural causes, but from stress or a bad diet. And you can look this up. A bad diet is usually promoted by stress and struggle because these are two in one. Remember, your external reflection is a representation of your internal expression. This is simple math. For example, when most people have a bad breakup, what is the first thing they want to do? You guessed it. Watch a movie dealing with love and a bad breakup and eat cookies and ice cream. Another example is when a child is misbehaving and parents want to get that child to listen and take instructions. What is the first and most natural thing parents offer to that child when they want to get them to do what they ask? You guessed it again, candy. Why is it? Why is it that when we are emotionally moved, it must be by way of food? Why? Which is predominantly full of complex and chemicalized sugars that have led us astray and function in proper direction. We have come to terms to reward bad behavior or situation with bad foods and eating habits. This is the main reason why we as a people continue to fall to sickness and death. It's because of the environment we have forcibly been placed in that promotes death in every which way you turn, from the foods we eat to the music we listen to the education we mentally digest, to the neighborhoods we are put in due to poverty-stricken minds, and even to the way we view true love is within a relationship. Everything that's promoted this nation and society leans toward low vibrational music, low vibrational relationships, a conquer and divide mentality, along with individualistic mindsets, which comes to America. There is nothing but chaos, defilement, division, and death. And with all that to consider, how does one truly obtain holistic and electrified health on earth as it is in heaven? We accomplish this by obtaining homeostasis on all levels and realms of our lives, along with creating a natural holistic environment. Again, homeostasis is the state of balanced internal, physical, and cellular conditions maintained by living systems. By living systems. Systems is not just the 12 systems in your body. The systems is also in your house. The system is also in your work. The system is also in your relationships. The system is also how you talk. The system is also what you listen to. Everything around you is a built-in system, y'all. It's a built-in system. And as we continue to read, it said, this is the condition of optimal functioning for the organism and includes many variables such as body temperature, fluid balance, and being kept within homeostasis range. Other variables include the pH of extracellular fluid, the concentrations of sodium, potassium, calcium ions, as well as the blood sugar levels, which need to be regulated despite changes in the environment, diet, or level of activity. Now, I'm gonna stop right there. I don't want to give y'all too much. Because y'all have to go get that. I'm gonna stop sharing. So that's just a piece of the book. That's just a small piece of the book. You see what I'm saying? That's a small piece of the book, y'all. And it's much more in there. It's so much more in there because I'm dropping sources. See, I'm not just gonna give y'all information and I tell you where I'm getting the sources from. I'm not just dropping information just so y'all can listen to me. I want y'all to get the information, and that's my teacher before me told me, you get the information, you go do greater works. And I'm telling you the same thing with y'all. Y'all get this information and y'all go do greater than I. Y'all do greater things than I. You see what I'm saying? Do greater things than I. Because this is what it's about. In Ashanti culture, they have something called a Sankofa. It's literally it's a duck that has his head turned back, but his body is forward. And so what the significant message behind that symbol is this: go fetch that which you have lost and thrust it forward into the future. So these are the things that we have lost as a people. We have lost our culture. We have lost our language. We have lost our customs. We have lost our way of life. We have lost our eating. We have lost how we serve the Most High, our natural, holistic way. You see what I'm saying? So the whole point is we must go look back in the past to see what we have lost, to see what we had before being tormented, castrated, and as cattle in chattel slavery, go that and bring it and thresh it into the future so that our children can not only be better than us, but they can have a better future than us. And that's the whole point of this book, is that we can actually establish holistic environments within the household, especially the Black community. I'm just being honest, I made this book specifically for the so-called Black community. Other people can read and it can be a benefit to them. But this is because we are the sickest people on this earth. We are the people who struggle the most in every aspect in our life. I made sure that this book was dedicated to us. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing racist about that either. It's nothing racist. Every other nation makes sure they take care of their people first, and then they do for others. And we got to start doing the same as a people. We got to start doing the same as a people. You see what I'm saying? So that's what this book is about. So make sure y'all check it out. Make sure y'all go to the website and definitely support the book. As y'all know, I know some of y'all just tuning in, but we are in Africa. You know what I'm saying? We did move to Africa. We are traveling through Africa right now, and we got a lot of great things going on. We got a lot of great things going on. So if y'all see in the description, we do have several links kind of showing you what we're doing. We do have several links showing you the work that we're doing. As y'all see, we just definitely did purchase a house, and we actually gonna start an Airbnb. We're gonna start an Airbnb, y'all, in Tanzania. So we got a lot of great things going on. I just again want to say thank you to everybody. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. And truly, it's heartfelt for those who are genuine about it. Another thing I wanted to share with y'all, since we're talking about the house, I wanted to share with y'all some of the pictures. I wanted to share with y'all some of the pictures of the house. I wanted to share with y'all some of the pictures of the house. Make sure y'all share this video too, man. This message got to get out, y'all. All right, so we good. I'm gonna click that off. Let's see, boom. All right, so I'm gonna share with y'all some of the pictures. All right, so check that out, family. Look at that. So that's the house we had purchased in Tanzania, and we'll be doing an Airbnb. This specific Airbnb will be for those who want to visit Africa, specifically Tanzania, those who want to even transition to move to Africa. We do have a house that you'll be comfortable in, that we'll take care of y'all in. And that's for our people, especially the diasporians. So I want to say thank y'all, man. If everybody who believe and have believed, you know, some people fall off, so I got to say believe and have believed. You see what I'm saying? So I wanted to just show y'all, you know, the house that me and my family have purchased, and that we are in the works of furnishing it right now. So it should be done within the next week or two. Let me show y'all another picture of it. So right here, that's what you call, that's actually called the servant's house, or they call it over here Dada. So Dada means like a maiden servant, where she would actually stay at. She would tend to the house, take care of the house when we're gone. It's also an outhouse over there as well. Show you another picture. This is just the entrance of the house. So we got a whole gate around it. Got a little barbed wire on there. And this is a perfect space. It's like between the city, like Dar es Salaam, and then between like what they would call the bush, like in the forest type areas. So you get a little bit of both. We did that on purpose so you can get a feel of real Africa, get a feel of the locals. Let me see. I guess you could call that a little garage or whatnot. Yeah. So last thing I want to show y'all, it's still in the works, but something I can't hold my water on, so I gotta show y'all, man. But look, I wanted to show y'all, I've been holding this for a little minute, man, but we still in the works of it, and we most definitely need your support. But y'all been asking for it. Y'all been hitting me up, asking me, "Hey, when you gonna do a podcast? Hey, when you gonna have a personal page? When you really going in on what's going on within the community and spirituality, et cetera, et cetera? When you gonna do that?" Hey, guess what? Prayed on it, and here we are. Here we are, family. Boom. Look at that. All praise to the Most High, yo. All praises. So it's called, the podcast will be called KTV, Culturally Activating Divine Elevation. You see what I'm saying? Culturally Activating Divine Elevation. Had to have the menorah on there, the Saint Kofa, the Guy 9. You see what I'm saying? Had to put the family name in there. You see? Culturally Activating Divine Elevation is finally here. We still in the works. Like I said, we still moving. So I haven't really been able to really get the equipment like I wanted to. But if y'all got any suggestions on best equipment, if you got any ideas you want to support, man, just let me know. But it's finally here, family. It's finally here. A lot of great works going on, man, that we don't speak about, we don't announce yet, because we want to make sure that we bringing y'all the best of us. And so shout out to the brother who made this. His name is Gates of Arts on Instagram, man. Check him out, man. But I wanted to share that with y'all, man. All praise to the Most High. Again, I appreciate every last one of y'all who has supported the movement, who has supported the message overall, and truly just been a part of the journey, man. Been a part of the journey. So with that being said, what I can do, I got about 13 minutes. So if anybody got any questions, let me know. If anybody got any questions, let me know. Again, yeah, we have relocated to Africa. We are in Tanzania. Man, and there's so much information here, y'all. I mean, this is why the scriptures say what a man who travels gains much wisdom. A man who travels gains much wisdom. So through that, through my travels, it truly led me here to finally give y'all some information that's concrete and that's solid. Even being here, I didn't even realize that they have a slave coast here as well. There's a lot of things that we don't know in the West that has been going on or that has happened in the past. And it's a lot of information that they're not giving us, y'all. So, it's going to be my duty to help bring forth that information, to further the truth that we already know, to further it. Because there's only so much a book going to be able to tell you, a historical book. It's only, even with the scriptures, it's only so much it's going to tell us. It has a limited framework as far as history. So that's our job on the ground over here. Now, we have talked and linked with other brothers, Hebrews, Bantu, what I'm saying, which we are Bantu, and gotten some vital information. Had a powerful meeting yesterday with some brothers and sisters. Just iron and sharpen iron. They've been over here longer than me, and just the information they got was phenomenal, man. Y'all, when I say it's a lot of information that we don't have over there in the West, and I mean it, man. I'm not saying it to shut down what we already know, but it's so much more that we don't know. It's so much truth that's not being exposed, and I'm gonna make sure it's my duty, especially through this podcast, that we get the information. So y'all stay tuned. I got 11 minutes, so if you got any questions, let me know. If you got any questions, let me know. I'm gonna kind of read through y'all comments. If you got any questions, let me know. Appreciate you, brother. Tony C13, man. Peace, love, light, and prosperity to you, my brother. Peace, love, light, and prosperity to you. We got any questions? Any questions? I thought I seen the question pop up on here. What's some advice for someone trying to move to Africa? All right, look, I'm gonna do this. For anybody trying to move to Africa, relocate, I'm gonna drop our email. We do consultations and help with the process of moving over here. So there go my email. I just dropped it. If anybody on Facebook or YouTube, if y'all can type this in for me, because I can't really type it on here. So if you're on YouTube, type this in, or Facebook, type this in for me. The email you can where you can email us at is coming, the number 2, Eden at gmail.com. Email where you can email us about any information concerning Africa or the projects that we're doing is coming, the number 2, Eden at gmail.com. That's COMING, the number 2, EDEN at gmail.com. If you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, can you please drop the email for those who are watching? Next question is this: how long did it take for you to finally get everything situated to move? That's a great question, because what you realize is this: there's nothing really you can do to like fully, like how we view what preparing looks like. There's nothing you can really do to fully prepare how you view it. You just got to know that you got enough to leave. You see what I'm saying? So to really answer that question is that it took definitely praying, it took having a game plan to the best of my abilities, and it took making a decision to go. That's how we finally got ready to move, for real, for real. And there's gonna be tips that we drop on our YouTube page to help those transition. But it'd be a lot for me to go through that right now. So if y'all want to know where you can find the information at, now don't laugh at me. My wife came up with this name, man. I think it's kind of corny, but it's unique. But she came up with it, so y'all laugh at her. So our YouTube channels is for to learn about Africa is keeping up with the Africades. you laugh? That's corny. It's called Keeping Up with the Africades. I'm gonna put it in here, man. I know some of y'all laughing, man. That ain't even funny, man. She like it. She like it, man. I think it's corny, but that's what she want to do. Keeping Up with the Africades. I'm typing it in on Instagram. It's on YouTube. I think it's corny, man, but she like it, man. It is what it is. All right, next question. How do you to sit still and let the Most High move for you? That's a great question. I think I kind of answered it, but I'll go in depth on that. I'll give you an example. I wanted to move about 2 or 3 years ago when we came back from Ghana. I wanted to move in, but I knew there were things that I had to do in America before I left. So I'm a person who I move by the Most High's voice. I try my best to. I'm not gonna say I always do, because I fail to. So I try my best to follow the Most High's voice with all things that I do. And so it was certain things that I did pray for, and there's certain things that I did fast for. I mean, days of fasting, days, no water, no food, and just wanted to have a clarity on what I want, on what I need to do, because I didn't want to move by my own will. You know what I'm saying? I wanted this to be the will of the Father. So I fasted, I prayed, I asked for specific things, I asked for specific signs, and lo and behold, because our Elohim is true, he delivered those signs. And so that's what gave me the inkling now it was time to leave. So I hope that answers your question. You gotta, we different communicate with the Most High. So you just gotta do what you gotta do. The most thing I can tell you is be obedient and submit to his will, and whatever he wants you to do, just it could be staying, it could be going. But you just gotta be obedient to whatever that is. Next question. Let's see. Now this one is on Facebook. Did your journey to Africa lead you to write this book? Absolutely. It was definitely a big portion of that, because what I recently really found out in Africa, and you know how you know certain things, but it's just in your spirit. You don't really have no proof of it. So one thing I recently realized, matter of fact, yesterday, is that if you follow the food and you follow the language, you will find the people. If you follow the food and you follow the language, you will find the people. And that's how I really found out who I was, what diet was ours, what was our culture, and how we did things by being over here in Africa. Not just this time, but again, I've been over here several times through different parts of Africa that kind of led me up to this point. See, remember I said environment. Environment is key to your healing. Environment is key to having a homeostasis state of the mind, body, and spirit. Your environment is key. And where are we from? Our environment is a tropical environment, which is in Africa. Follow the language and follow the food, you will find the people. And that's what led me up to the holistic transition. And as my teachers before me have always taught, you know, wherever you come from, that's your culture, that's your food, that's your identity, that's your language. You see, we as the so-called Black people have been so far removed from our language, so far removed from our diet, so far removed from our culture that we literally take on the spirit, the diet, the culture, and even the dress code of another people, which means that we are totally sick. And what is sickness? All sickness is imbalance in the body. And as a people, us being in a body, we are totally out of balance. We are totally out of balance. And as my teacher before me have said, we are homesick. We are homesick. And so coming here, it was like a yoke taken on my neck, on my mind. Let me say that, my mind the first time in 2018. And then from that point, it was like a drug that I could not get away from. I had to be back to Africa. I had to study Africa. I had to see and read the books of Africa. Because I know that our bloodline runs deep here. Our bloodline runs very, very deep here. And so here we are, y'all. Here we are. Not only do we got a book out now, but we back home. We back home, family. We back home. However you want to call it. You want to say you from Israel, you from Egypt, whatever the case is. Guess what? Both places in Africa. The Bantu expansion. All that, man. We home. We ain't exactly home, but we home. We at the borders, baby. We at the borders. So any other questions? I'm gonna give y'all 5 more minutes. Whether you're on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. Any other questions? Again, make sure y'all go purchase the book, family. Make sure y'all go purchase the book. Let me see something. Make sure y'all go purchase the book, y'all. The book is on www.edenic.experienceLLC.org. Somebody post that on the lives, y'all. www.edenic.experienceLLC.org. www.edenic.experience.org. The book overall is $14.99 plus shipping and handling. Let me see. Can I post it on here? Somebody post a website for me. www.edenic.experience.org. Let me post it on here too. It's .org, Aki. .org. My father asked, "How are the schools?" The schools actually a lot better than I thought, as far as the education. They're a lot better than I thought. They got different type of schools. They got private schools. They got the local schools, and they got the international schools. So the international schools focus more like on transitioning people from different countries, like America, Europe, and stuff like that. So it's still kind of Americanized. They kind of transition them into the culture slowly. Then you got the private schools, which are a little bit better than the local schools because they teach the Swahili. They got a lot more English teachers there, and they offer a little bit more different classes or better classes there. And you got the local schools where you in there, you in the culture, you straight up in the culture. So either way, I think all three are a great experience for depending on the child, but it's a great experience. Somebody said, "What's been your favorite part of Tanzania so far?" My favorite part of Tanzania. To be honest with you, I can't really answer that yet because since I got here, I've been getting so I can't really say that right now. I mean, if I had to choose for real, if I had to choose anything, I would say Rosterland was pretty dope. You know, the restaurant itself was pretty dope, and the fact that it was on the beach, it's just a beautiful, beautiful scenery. I would say thus far that going to Rosterland and going to the restaurant on the beach was pretty dope. I would say that. All right, y'all. Two more questions. I got it. Two more questions, and I got to get off. Y'all want to see the website? Let's see. Y'all want to see the website? It's right there. Hey, Toda Aki, Asante San Kaka. Asante San Kaka. Asante is thank you. San is very much. Kaka means brother. So Asante San Kaka. www. Oh, hold on. You messed it up. Hold on. My bad. You did mess it up. Boom. The right one on there. There we go. So it's the edenic experience. www.theedenicexperience.org. Make sure y'all go support that and cop the book. Please leave reviews. Tell me what you think. Next question. I'm gonna take one more after this. Take one more question after this. This is a good question. I like that. How long did it take to write the book? And what was the favorite part about writing? So the manifestation of the book started 7 years ago, 2013, when I was in college at Central State University. Talking to my homegirl. I started really writing it back in 2015, but I got to like one page in there. But then when I really started to do it, I started writing the book in November, and I finally completed it in July. So November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So it took me 9 months to like consistently write it. It took me 9 months to consistently write it. And so, that's another thing too. Y'all know we always working. So we are going to be having not a program, but pretty much a step-by-step way on how to publish a book. Reason being, we actually finding out because we're not getting the right process on how to actually not only create a book, but publish a book. We're losing out a lot of money as a people. And we let other people take our money because we don't know the correct way and steps to publish a book. My book, I have full rights. I have full publishing rights. I have full rights to my royalties because I'm not going to let another people benefit off me. I'm just sorry. And if you look into Amazon, hey, you better not deal with Amazon. They would take your money and they would make more money than you off your own book. They would make more money off you than you. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know how to really, really publish your own book and go through the process, hit me up. We're getting something together right now because I've been finding out through my own process that this is a problem. I was about to do Amazon, but through research and dealing with my people and my like to say my vegan team, because literally everybody on the team is vegan. But anyway, dealing with that, I realized that, man, it's other people out here who literally getting their money taken. They getting their money taken and not getting the full benefit of their own work. Sometimes we just too lazy to research and find out. Just too lazy to research and find out. But I'm telling you, we gonna have a black-owned staff, a black-owned council that's gonna help you walk step by step on how to publish a book. Y'all know I'm not playing no games. Anything I learn, anything I do, I'm gonna give back to you. So, support us. We definitely supporting y'all, man. That's how it keep going, man. That's how I keep going. We should be constantly supporting each other every single day. I made a vow 2017. I made a vow in 2017. And I said, every month I'm going to support 2 to 3 black-owned businesses. And I have not failed doing that yet. It may be the smallest thing, but I made sure that I'm going to put my money at the minimum 2 or 3 times back into a black-owned business. You see what I'm saying? Because we got to get the money back circulating in the community. We putting too much money out to other people and they benefiting off of it. Just like in the last year, a lot of us literally got a free check and gave it right back to them. Didn't do no investments, didn't invest in other people, didn't give to people, didn't do nothing with it. We wanted to buy a bag of weed. We wanted to buy flashy cars with notes that made us in debt. We wanted to buy houses to rent. We wanted to buy all these things that did not give back to our community nor invest back into our households. And then we want to cry like we need what's the words? Reparations. Like we need reparations. Shoot, they gave this was a sign that if they really gave us real reparations, that we would blow it. We would lose our damn minds if we got reparations right now. Because you see clearly that we don't know what to do with money. Because it ain't money that's the problem. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. We don't have wealth in our mind yet. We don't have wealth in our spirit yet. So how in the hell are we gonna have wealth with money? It's a difference. I think Floyd Mayweather said it's a difference between being rich and wealthy. Rich, you just got money for that time. But wealthy, that's something you establish through generations. Generational wealth that continues to flip itself and make more money and make more money. We don't know how to be wealthy. We know how to be damn sure rich. We do not know how to make money or be wealthy. We don't. We don't. And the ones who are wealthy are selfish bastards. Selfish bastards. So I'll take one more question, family. I really got to get off this time. One more question. One more question. Make it good, too. Give me a hard question. Give me a hard question. Let's see. One more question, family. Again, I appreciate everybody who tuning in, man. This is truly a blessing. I'm truly thankful to you all, man. It shows that the work don't go unnoticed. Because it really is my prayer that this book gonna echo through the generations. Help somebody become greater than me. One more question, family. We got all these people in here, ain't got no question yet. All right, y'all, because y'all be blowing my inbox up with questions. So I was expecting it was some good questions, but I'm expecting some more because y'all be blowing me up in my inbox. Any other questions? All right, family. That being said, again, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. May the Most High bless you all. May He keep you all. May He shine His face upon you all. Make sure that y'all go on the website right here below, and make sure y'all cop that book. Don't let this be the last question, but is ebook available to read if we don't order the hard copy? Absolutely. I made sure, because I know some people actually like to read off screens or on a tablet. I personally don't like to do that, but I know I've learned through my homegirl Nate that people actually like to read ebooks. So I did make an ebook for y'all. So yes, the ebook will be on the website. It is on the website now, along with the paperback. So either or works. All right. Okay, Kev, I see you pop up. So all right, last question. If you wouldn't have written your book, then what would you have considered being another resourceful outlet of spreading the knowledge from your book? Read that. If you wouldn't have written the book, then what would have been? What would you have considered being another resourceful outlet of spreading the knowledge from your book? Now, when you ask that question, are you asking as far as me, or are you asking from a perspective of what would I suggest to get that type of information if I did not have my book? I just want to make sure I'm clear on your question. Are you asking from a perspective of what I would have done to help spread the resourceful news? Or are you saying what would I suggest if I didn't do this book? To be specific with me. Be specific with me if you could, please. What would I have done? I probably would have been doing what I've been doing now, to be honest with you. Spreading the news on social media, spreading the news on the streets, talking to people. You know, I had certain events coming up of speaking, having speaking engagements. So if I didn't write this book, I'd probably been still doing that. But I do know, you know, that my voice can only go so far and it can only last so long before my time on this earth is done. So I wanted to leave something behind as a voice on paper that people can look at and say, okay, I can still remember his message. I can still feel his presence in this book. So yeah, if I didn't have the book, you know, then that would be my way. I would still been doing the same thing, teaching people online, teaching people on the streets, and doing public speaking in certain areas. And all right, okay, I got you. This is the last question, for real this time. All right, to piggyback off that person's question, do you think holding seminars are useful in our community? Absolutely, I believe that. I really believe it should be more seminars. That's coming from a perspective of our mindset. I think too many people are doing seminars from a broken mindset of slavery. There's not many people who are doing seminars from who we were, from that type of mindset before slavery. So I believe that we should do more seminar from a perspective of freedom and not bondage. Yes, we identify the bondage. We identify the sickness. But I think that if we speak from a positive note of who we were before the change, I think that'll have a bigger impact on the people, because we hear that all the time. We hear about the Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. We hear about everything after slavery. But not too many people are doing seminars speaking on the greatness we had before slavery. So I think that if we're going to do seminars, yes, we should have seminars, but I think it should be from that perspective and not a perspective of trying to get back from whence we've fallen from. Which, yes, we are in a fallen state, but I'm saying you got to start teaching the good news, teaching the liberty, teaching that the kingdom is within, teaching that, yes, we are gods on this earth. Got to start teaching from that perspective. You feel what I'm saying? Then I think you'll see a major change in the community. Documentary next up. Hey, well, Kev, you know, if that's the case, you already know who the shooter is. You already know who's going to be the cameraman. So you let me know when you're ready. You let me know when you're ready. We'll get to it. But with that being said, family, I love y'all. Continue to be positive. Continue to be upful. Continue to be about peace, love, light, and prosperity. And let's continue to keep building the kingdom, family. Love y'all.